to YouTube, capital G here. Got a nice little fresh batch of duels for you guys to check out. And this is something I think I'm actually going to start doing more on the channel. When I get some pretty good duels, but duels that are not necessarily good enough in my opinion to kind of hold their own video, I think I'm going to package the duels together so that it still ends up making a quality entry on my channel, because sometimes that does happen. People will send me duels, but they're only like one turn and, you know, maybe they're too short. And I'm like, it really wasn't all that amazing, but it was still pretty interesting to see what you could do. But I think if I combine a bunch of those type of duels, I think we end up getting a pretty good video in general. Now, there's not going to be a lot of continuity between these duels because they're completely separate, so it's not going to be like an Excellent Adventures where it's one deck, you know, playing over and over again. But I do think that it still allows me to you know, give you guys a good video, and I don't have to reject so many entries that you guys are sending to me. So first duel is actually going to be, well, actually first couple of duels going to be side frames against Spyrals. I saw this last night. The guy was saying he was trying to make Spyrals meta again, and I was like, well, if you can't beat side frames, then you might as well just kill that dream. And I like watching side frames duel because I feel like it's an incredibly annoying deck, and especially when you don't know the cards in your opponent's hand or the cards in the hand when you're watching a duel. Everything's just kind of random. You don't really know what the side frame player has in hand. He is going to try to get rid of the circuit. He's going to be unsuccessful. He ends up attacking into a beta, and he is getting wrecked, especially when he has that Zeta on field. Now, unfortunately, because his opponent did have the quick fix, and quick fix maybe had, you know, it could have potentially let him out of that situation, but he top decked the Gamma. Again, when I was watching the duel, I had no idea what was in his hand, so I thought that he had a good chance of doing this because he's going to have one of the cards taken out of his hand, and then he gets the big rig. He activates the Nessie for the Bigfoot, and you can see he's trying to pop a back row. Maybe he should have popped the Zeta instead. That would have made a little more sense, but it didn't matter because his opponent always had that Gamma. Gamma was going to be able to negate quick fix, so that is a pretty easy get bodied for the first duel. And, you know, I feel like if you're somebody who's trying to build Spyral right now, if you can't beat side frames, which is an incredibly passive deck, where exactly are you going? And he even made his opponent go first because we know side frames don't really have proactive plays other than maybe card D. He goes for the Spyral Tough again. Unfortunately, he is going to be met with, I believe, a side frame Zeta. Yeah, he went for the Metaverse play. He's going to not actually, or he's going to miss on the pop. He does summon Super Agent and he gets rid of the back row, but the problem is it's going to get banished. He goes for Card Destruction. That's going to get hit with Zeta. Card Destruction, I guess, kind of makes sense if you're running the Danger Monsters. That was actually a really big deal in this duel. The fact that he never actually was able to resolve just a bunch of those cards, and it felt like he never even got he never even got close to putting Double Agent on board. So I'm going to say that his dreams of making Spyral meta relevant again, we're going to go ahead and scrap those. Our next duel is actually going to be some fairies. I call this the Paul Cooper build. You guys saw this probably on Yu-Gi-Oh! No's channel a while ago when he was still pumping out those crazy good Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. He actually had a build just like this. It's kind of Fluffals and you know, a little bit of Herald of Perfection, all of that wrapped into one. The reason that this deck actually works is because obviously you can drop Herald turn one pretty consistently, but when you throw in the toy vendors and stuff, you kind of get like infinite draw fodder. And one of the big problems that Herald has always had is that this kind of happens, right? You drop your Herald on the field. Obviously, you have a whole bunch of fairies in your hand for like negation, but then you don't really have any offense. That's why Herald was never really relevant. But when you throw in this stick chair combo, the Star Seraphs, oh my God, you guys know how ridiculous those can be. He's going to activate that toy vendor. I think he's looking for a stick. He does get a stick. Just look continually at this guy hand, even as he dropped monsters on the board because of the chairs constantly resolving, constantly letting him draw cards. Obviously, stick and chair are not hard once per turns because they are Zexo cards, and now he has offense. He actually goes ahead and he summons the stick back from Ritual Sanctuary. Deltaros pops 2 cards, and it's pretty much a wrap. Now, you don't generally see Herald OTK, but when you blow up your opponent's entire field with Deltaros, he can even go for the Brilliant Fusion play, summon Seraphonite in attack mode, and discard the spell to make her attack obviously go back to the original 2300. And that's actually a pretty nice, that's a well, not really a Fluffal powered OTK, but we'll call that a Herald powered OTK. Last duel is actually going to be He called it WWE. It's actually Gouki, right? And I know you guys are like, ah, come on, Cap G. We saw so much Gouki. This is how you're supposed to play Gouki. This is Gouki from the anime. Despite, you know, they didn't play Ice Soul, but there are certain things in Gouki you just gotta keep. You gotta keep Ice Soul, but this is not going to be any Gumblar shenanigans or anything with summon sorcerers. This is straight up Gouki Beatdown, the way that the deck was supposed to be played. He's using a lot of the monsters from Cybernetic Horizon. I think their Link 4 is actually really good. The one that came out, this one right here, Gouki the Giant Ogre. I mean, a lot of people, because Gouki they always use the nightmare monsters, they never use their Link Bond. This is a really good card. Not only can it not be destroyed by battle, it's unaffected by card effects with monsters that have less attack than it. So automatically, anything under than 3,000 can't really affect this guy. Very similar to the Cubic Deity. And this guy also has an effect where he protects himself from targeting by decreasing his attack points by 500. But then it doesn't even matter because he gets 1,000 attack when he does that. So it's a really difficult card to kill. Honestly, I think this is why you gotta run Borolo Dragon. It's still in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! I still believe Borolo. Like, if I had to choose between Borolo and Boro Sword, I personally run Borolo because of situations like this, where Boro Sword might not be able to get the job done, because keep in mind, can't be destroyed by battle. His opponent is going ham too with these freaking Mech Knights. You can see at one point he had like 5 monsters on field, and even still well, let's see, he has 4 monsters on field. Okay, for a second I was thinking 5, but the problem is, he cannot get over this. And actually, I want to see during his next turn, even if he has any Boro cards, because I feel like that might be the only way that he's able to get it off field. Now, he's going to use his Merkaba. It's fine. The problem is, as long as this guy is on the field, he's not able to really advance his game. Like, he's not going to be able to advance his game state as long as this dude is just sitting on field. And we know he's going to try to attack over the Merkaba, but even when he does use the Ouster in his hand, doesn't matter. It can't be destroyed by battle anyways. This was kind of cool. I do believe if you're trying to play Goukis, you should be running Magical Midfield Breaker, basically as a way of just, well, playing around like hand traps and impermanence and stuff like that. Even other just like annoying targeting cards like Altergeist, you can just kind of get rid of those. He goes for Cyber Dragon Infinity, which I don't understand how, like, he goes for all of these monsters, but I just don't think they're doing anything. Hold on, the curiosity is just getting the better of me, because he clearly has all these monsters on board. Dude, if you don't run a freaking Borolo Dragon, I swear to God, no, he does not run. That's why he's going for these freaking jank plays. He doesn't run Borolo. I guess he was thinking, if my Cyber Dragon Infinity can live one more turn, I can maybe actually get over it. But this is why you gotta run Borolo. Actually, it doesn't matter now, because he goes for Gouki the Great Ogre, which is shrinking every monster down. What a time to not have Link monsters on the field. See, Link monsters are unaffected by Gouki the Great Ogre because they don't have defense points. Once he switches everything to defense, we know that he's pretty much given up on the duel. All he needs to do is, he goes into All Might. Shoutouts to My Hero Academia, who can attack every monster, and he pulls off the victory, guys. Nightmares not even needed, and Gouki confirmed. Just play the Gouki like they play it on the anime. Always been a real big fan of a Magical Midfield Breaker, which makes this card even more difficult to kill, because then your opponent can't target it at all. Again, these are the duels that just scream Borolo Dragon will win you the duel. If he would have had that, probably ends up winning, but he didn't. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this short batch of duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.